And I can tell you that what the country needs really bad is good technical training.
It's getting harder and harder to find quality technicians, and they've realized it's going to take some investment from them.
The manufacturers look at it as it's our job to keep their shops filled with future technicians.
Kids now graduating high school, everyone gets a letter, and it kind of opens your eyes and says, hey, I want it. Somebody wants to help advance my career.
Welcome to Talent Pipeline Georgia, a podcast brought to you by the Technical College System of Georgia. Each month, we bring business leaders, faculty, and students together to explore how TCSG's 22 colleges and 600-plus programs drive workforce development, fuel economic growth, and create pathways to success. Whether you're building a stronger team, shaping policy for the future, or preparing for the next step in your education, TCSG is your partner in progress. Visit us at tcsg.edu for more details. The Technical College System of Georgia. Meaningful careers start here. On today's episode, we explore the exciting intersection of education and the automotive industry. Featuring insights from Georgia's technical colleges, industry leaders, and Kia Georgia President Stuart Countess, we discuss how collaboration is shaping the next generation of automotive professionals. You'll hear about innovative programs, like partnerships with global brands, cutting-edge labs, and pathways guiding students to successful careers. Discover why technical training matters, how it fuels economic growth, and the opportunities available for those passionate about the automotive field. Whether you're an industry insider or a curious listener, this episode offers something for everyone. First up, we'll hear from Aaron Clements, president of CNC Automotive in Augusta. Aaron, how do you think technical colleges help get both new and experienced workers ready for changes in industries like automotive repair?
I have a great love for our country, and I can tell you that what the country needs really bad is good technical training, because what we have, and I'm seeing that from real world experience. I'm seeing people that apply for jobs that have degrees in some field that has nothing to do with working on cars. And so they come in and they apply for the position and they don't have any qualifications. They've been to classroom experience. And if these people, instead of spending that time getting a degree in something they're not going to use, if they were to go to a technical college of some kind and learn something that they really enjoy doing, whether that's automotive repair or HVAC or welding or something that they could come out and actually earn a living doing, then that would be the best thing that we could do for this country. And I think that I've visited, absolutely beautiful technical colleges. And I think we should have those all around the country, to where if a person wants to go and learn a trade that they can enjoy, that they can build the foundation for a good, enjoyable career, then we need to give our kids that opportunity. So to me, it's very important for these technical colleges to not only be available for those that are younger, coming up, looking for a trade, wanting to learn how to make a living, but also be there to use some of the experience that some of these other people had and be able to take that opportunity to pass it on. And also having it set up to where those older people that went to tech schools many years ago, things have changed a lot. There's places for them to go to continue the learning so that they don't have to get out of the working world because they've lost touch with the new technology that has come out. So I think technical colleges, traditionally, when you think of technical college, you think of a younger person that's coming out, just learning how to work, or either just getting out of the military and saying, hey, I need to get a job, a different type job. You don't think about the people that's been doing the job for 10, 15, 20 years, and technology has passed them by. We need to go after those people. We need to be able to keep those people working.
Can you tell us about the new training facility and how its design and features will enhance the education and skill development for both technicians and service advisors?
Yes, it's going to be a beautiful shop. It's actually a Cadillac dealership at one time. And the building that we're in now was a Cadillac Oldsmobile dealership. One of our, I guess you'd call it our flagship building. But that building is going to be very large. It's going to be laid out in a way to where they're going to have training for the technicians in different areas to where they would have undercar, they would have transmissions and some area for diesels and area for paint and body work. And another thing that's real important to the industry now that probably 20 years ago, nobody would have even thought of trying to have training for it, but now it's very important. And that's service advisor training, because having a person that's available when a customer walks in to be able to write the information down, make recommendations to that customer, put it in the computer, pass it on to the technician, and the technician be able to read it, understand it, and then the diagnosis and put his recommendation in there. And then that service advisor be able to transfer that information to the customer. That's one of the more important jobs in the shop now. The other thing that is my understanding that we're going to have, and and we toured and I fussed about a lot of this stuff, trying to make sure that, hey, this is what we need. This is what we need. And of course, what the wonderful thing is, of course, they already had a lot of things in mind, but they took the time to really listen to others people in the air on the advisory board. They really listened to us very closely, held meetings and that, and said, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And when we made recommendations, they either said this or why we came, or they did, or they did it. And to me, that was huge. But one of the things I mentioned is having a place where we can have training classes. Right now, we have a fair amount in our showroom area of our shop, and we set up like about 50 chairs, and we have roughly 40 or 50 people come in and have classes right now once every 2 or 3 months. If they had them over there, we could probably double that.
Thanks, Aaron, for talking about the need for better training facilities and skilled service advisors. Up next, we've got Kevin Bryant, an instructor at Augusta Tech, to share how his program gets students started with the basics and builds their skills step by step. Kevin, can you break down how your program mixes classroom learning and hands-on practice to get students ready for success in the automotive world?
So our program starts at the very basics. We can take you, if you don't know anything about cars, and we start with our introduction class, which is a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, the safety, of course, the laws and rules and regulations as far as pollution and everything goes, all the way up through work ethics and what tools are and how they work and what they do. And then we will follow, after that class, which is the first 2 weeks, we will follow the ASC certification path, which is Automotive Service Excellency. It's kind of our bar exam when we get into the field. And they have 8 different certification layers that they have, each corresponding with a different system on each car. And so each of our classes is going to correspond with one of those certifications. And so we are a 4-semester program. It takes about 16 months to get through the program. We are very hands-on. We are in the classroom, of course, to learn the theory and the principles behind what we're teaching, but we are very much out in the lab, completing live work and assignments on mock-ups and trainers and things that we have. We have increased our trainers and mock-ups lately, so it's a little bit easier to train somebody on something like that versus a live car. But we try to give a very comprehensive and technical education, and most of the people that are coming to us for an education don't do well in a classroom setting. They're more of a hands-on, show me, and then I'm going to show you that I know it type education. And so that's what we specialize in, is getting the students out into the shop and getting their hands dirty and fixing a vehicle that gives them the confidence and the experience to carry over into building a proper work ethic for the automotive industry.
How are industry partners stepping up to address the growing shortage of quality technicians? And what role does your program play in preparing the next generation of skilled professionals?
Well, what we've heard from our partners out there is it's getting harder and harder to find quality technicians, and that they've realized it's going to take some investment from them. You can only take technicians from each other for so much before the technicians age out. We're starting to see a lot of technicians that have what it takes in this field. They'll retire, or this is a pretty tough job on your body, and so you don't really want to work until you're 80 years old doing this. So what we're finding is these guys have kind of, I'm not going to say ignored the fact that this has been coming, but it's caught a few by surprise. And so what they have done is decided to invest in us so we can build the technicians for them and create a better employee for them starting out versus just hiring someone off the street or out of high school.
Thanks, Kevin, for breaking down the challenges with finding skilled technicians and how companies are stepping up to help. It really highlights how important those partnerships and investments are. Speaking of partnerships, our next guest knows a thing or two about making those work. We've got Melissa Frank-Alston, interim president of Augusta Tech, here with us. Melissa, can you talk about how Augusta Tech is helping students succeed, especially with support from partners like Kia?
Okay, so you mentioned Kia. So Kia is a sponsor for the Technical College System of Georgia. And every year, Kia has provided the State Student of the Year with Kia as part of the prize. So we have a program called GOAL, which is the Georgia Occupational for Student Leadership. And so each technical college has an internal competition, Student of the Year competition, so to speak. And those students go to a regional competition, and then they go to the state competition. And the state competition is in conjunction with our TCSG Leadership Summit. And at the end of that competition, the winner of that competition receives a Kia. And the premise behind that is to really showcase Kia's commitment to the Technical College System of Georgia, but also the Student of the Year is the ambassador for the state and for technical education here in Georgia. And so that student uses that Kia to go around the state. So they're a wonderful, wonderful sponsor to have.
Thanks, Melissa, for sharing how Augusta Tech is making such a difference for students and the community, especially with support from partners like Kia. Speaking of Kia, we're excited to hear from Stuart Countess, the president of Kia Georgia. Stuart, can you tell us about Kia's efforts to support technical education and how those partnerships are helping to shape the future workforce?
We donate $100,000 each year into the Technical College Fund. Maybe the question is, well, why do we do that? Our answer is that we see the technical college as a key support block in what we do as a business. So by partnering with them and helping to promote careers and opportunities, again, through the technical college, we not only support ourselves, but certainly we're supporting the growth within the state. We've enjoyed doing that. We think it's a critical part of what we bring back to the community. And there's some equal sharing on both sides because, you know, we get to participate in the State Workforce Development Board. We get to participate in the Gold Student Achievement Award. You know, one of the proudest moments that I have every year is when we give a car away to the Student of the Year. There's some very interesting stories that we hear about obstacles and challenges that people have had to overcome, but yet they had overcome all of those. And getting to listen to those stories, honestly, sometimes can be a tearjerker, even for the coldest of hearts. You're proud of what they did, but it's certainly a recognition. And I would say that Kia is very blessed and honored to be a part of that whole initiative.
Stuart, it's great to hear how Kia supports education and gives back. Building on that, can you talk about how Kia is working with education systems from K through 12 to technical colleges and beyond to create clear pathways for students and help them see opportunities available in industries like yours?
Well, there's been a significant shift. I'll start there over the last couple of years, working with the governor's office. There's been a better alignment of all the educational systems, the K through 12 through the technical college into the four-year universities. What we had realized was that we weren't always talking kind of the same language, which meant that we weren't defining the pathways to be able to very clearly articulate to individuals what you can do. We've even seen a lot of changes, I would say, since the COVID onset, that some individuals just realized maybe I want to go to the technical college. Well, how do you get there? What is the necessary steps? What are the careers and opportunities that people can find by going to a technical college and then develop those additional skill sets if that's what they choose to do? Kids now graduating high school, everyone gets a letter saying you've been accepted into this institution, this technical college, this university. I think that we don't realize that there are a lot of young individuals who may not have that background support that help point them into that direction. But imagine getting that letter in the mail and it kind of opens your eyes and says, hey, I'm wanted. Somebody wants to help advance my career. And if there's a kind of a hidden gem, I think that's where Georgia's got it right now. And everybody, our belief here at Kia Georgia is we'll get our fair share. We'll find those people who want to be in an automotive career. But better, what we want to do is to help make sure the state is successful and continue its track record as the number one state to do business.
Thanks, Stuart, for sharing how Kia is helping students and aligning with schools to create clear paths to careers. Now, shifting from the big picture to what's happening on the ground, we've got Bob Bauman, Program Director at Gwinnett Tech. Bob, you've built an automotive program that's attracting students from all over. Can you tell us more about what makes your program stand out and the opportunities it's creating for students?
Well, I'm very proud of everything that we do at Gwinnett Tech, and I'm not just saying that because I have to say that. I say that because I truly believe it. When we look at what other colleges offer, to give you an idea, there is a 2-year waiting list to get into my program, and that's bringing in 80 to 85 new students per year. When the administrative office and all that, when they do exit surveys with the students, and then when they talk to new students coming in, they have found out that a percentage of our students, automotive students, are actually driving past other institutions that teach automotive to get to us. And when they ask them why, their number one answer is the amount of opportunity. Now, we have 3 standalone manufacturer programs. We have Mopar Cap, which is anything under the Stellantis umbrella. So it's Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Fiat, anything Chrysler, anything under that. That's a manufacturer program. We also offer Mercedes-Benz, and we also offer Ford. And then the other program we have is the General Automotive program, which is mine. So what is the difference between those? Those 3 manufacturer programs are 100% backed by the manufacturer, which means the manufacturer gives them all the vehicles, all the equipment to work with, all the access to the training. They are training those students to work for those manufacturers specifically. Their labs are set up just like a dealership. So the student has that environment, and those students are really, really fans of Ford, Mopar, or Mercedes. Then you get to General Automotive, which is mine, and we happen to be the largest program in the building as well. We have manufacturer support, but ours is kind of I say it's embedded within our program. We have support from Audi, Hyundai, Genesis, Nissan, Infiniti, Mazda, and Subaru. And what they do is they'll give us little bits of things. They'll either give us some vehicles, or they'll give us access to their technician training, or they'll give us some equipment to work with, or demo parts, things like that. Students that want to take those programs, we make sure that they work with those specific vehicles and training, and they get credit for those particular manufacturers. But it's not a manufacturer standalone program. So when students look at that, potential students, and they see all the opportunities, and we have a 99% in-field placement rate from all of our programs, it's kind of a win-win if they come to us.
Thanks, Bob, for giving us a glimpse into the incredible opportunities of Gwinnett Tech's automotive programs and how you're setting students up for success. Continuing with Gwinnett Tech, we're joined by Glenn Cannon to talk about their partnership with Mercedes-Benz and how it's creating a direct path for students to land careers with a global brand. Glenn, can you tell us more about how this program came together and the impact it's having?
So Mercedes, the week I got the job, almost a little over 11 years ago, was the week that Mercedes-Benz USA announced they were moving their headquarters from New Jersey to Sandy Springs. And Gwinnett Tech's just developed a relationship, and they'd been talking to our automotive people. And so they wanted to make sure they could get a quality program. We worked with them on a curriculum and wound up, it's an associate degree, 2-year program. But basically into their second semester, they go to work at a Mercedes dealership in the metro area. So they're on a paid internship from basically the second semester in. And then we've had pretty much 100% job placement rate after they graduate into one of the local Mercedes-Benz dealerships. And Mercedes was a great partner. Overall, they've given us well over $1 million of equipment and improvements. Our lab was made. We have a specific lab with 6 lifts that's just for Mercedes, and it meets all the specs that a technician center does at any one of your Mercedes-Benz dealerships. We actually have a dealership number where we get access to immediate updates on the computer screens that our instructors and our students are seeing are live, just like the same. They're seeing the same information on the same screens that a technician would at a Mercedes-Benz dealership. So it's been a great partnership, very productive. My understanding is Mercedes is now going to repeat that. I believe the first place is outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and then possibly move out west. But I'm not sure exactly what their overall plans are. I just know that ours has been extremely successful, and we're very thankful for the partnership. And it's great to see that Mercedes logo up in our automotive place and on our campus, because anytime you can deal with a global company like that, it adds some cachet to your entire campus and operations. People know they're dealing with an institution that has the ability to work with a global partner like that.
Glenn, it's great to hear about the incredible partnership with Mercedes-Benz and how it's opening doors for students. Can you share how Gwinnett Tech is building on that success with other big names like Ford and Mazda to keep growing opportunities for your students?
Yes, we're very fortunate as well with that. We're constantly looking to see how can we partner with any major global brand we can. Ford has a program that they've developed. It's called Asset, and it's a curriculum around how they train their technicians. We worked with that curriculum and converted it into a technical college diploma program for our students. And Ford, for us to have an asset program, I forget how large the area has to be, but for us, it was the metro area. But every dealership in that area, and for us, that's our area, that's 17 Ford dealerships in the metro area, had to agree to join the program for it to be recognized by Ford. They all did. And they all chipped in money, and it was a little over, I believe, almost $300,000 that they gave us for vehicles. And we have Ford lifts, and plus they gave us, 2 EVs, their Ford Mustang, and then a truck EV. And we consider ourselves the top EV training program in Georgia, especially, but I believe in the Southeast right now. And as you evolve in this, one thing I learned from our people was that we had to have a couple of new lifts because the EVs are quite heavier than a regular car. So they helped us with that, and it is up and going. And we've graduated our first students, and they will be working in Ford dealerships. And I think, it's been a very productive program so far. And I think Ford is really pleased with the program so far. We also just signed an agreement, it's our newest agreement with Mazda, and developed a curriculum with Mazda. And Mazda actually has it's going to be a program inside our general automotive program where general automotive students can get a specific technical certificates in Mazda technician. And when they come out, they'll be I believe it's called an advanced Mazda technician, according to their hierarchy, to be employed. And Mazda also put together a benefits package, that the incentive to hire, and a benefits package for our students to entice them when they graduate to go to work for Mazda. It was a great package. I was ready to go to work for Mazda myself after they got through presenting it. These automotive programs are a competitive program now. They're similar to our health programs. It's very competitive. It's going to take the top students. These are extremely complicated computers on wheels, and it's going to take more and more of a person with networking, computer skills, diagnostic skills, critical thinking. These students are not the automotive technicians that I certainly grew up with. And this is they're working in a clean, air-conditioned environment, and they're thought of as a professional. So it's just a great opportunity for our students and people to get in a highly competitive, well-paying, something that's not just a job, it's a career in there. So we're appreciative of all 3 of those programs.
Glenn, it's exciting to hear about how Gwinnett Tech is leading the way with programs like Ford Asset and Mazda's advanced training. Speaking of innovation, can you tell us how you're preparing students to tackle the growing demand for EV charging systems and the opportunities that come with it?
You've seen everything. I know everyone has about what's going on with Georgia and Governor Kemp saying we were going to be the EV, automotive EV capital of the U.S. And I think we certainly are. And we saw what was going on in manufacturing with, Kia is added an entire line and an expansion over in West Point and near LaGrange for electric vehicles. We've got the massive mega plant for Hyundai built right outside of Savannah. Rivian is, will be a massive project when it comes to fruition. And we have 4 large EV battery plants in Georgia that are just massive operations. So we have started manufacturing, advanced manufacturing and mechatronics, but we are not, by far one of the larger manufacturing specific schools. So I was looking at, and we started talking about, well, how can we get involved in all these, and suddenly realized that no one was doing the actual charging systems. Those have to be installed, and there's a lot of maintenance in those EV charging systems. And that's going to be a wave of the future for EVs ever really get to where, everyone expects them to be. We're going to have a massive influx of, these chargers. We're going to have a Buc-ee's for charger that's got chargers at some point in here. So we were looking at that and working with Siemens, which is, their headquarters is in Alpharetta, where our satellite campus is over in Alpharetta, across from the Avalon. They are one of the largest manufacturers of actually one of the EV charging systems. So we work with them. They're a great partner. They gave us all the chargers, and our people built modular training units, and we teach that at our Alpharetta campus, and it's how to become a certified installer of the charging machines, because that as well, you've got to have electrical knowledge, and you've also got to have some computer knowledge. Those things, any technician you see installing or working on one of those charging machines will have a laptop with them. So that's a good program we've got with Siemens, and we just graduated our first class in that, and we'll be expanding that over to our Gwinnett campus for an additional program as well.
Thanks for listening to Talent Pipeline Georgia, a podcast brought to you by the Technical College System of Georgia. Visit us at tcsg.edu for more details. The Technical College System of Georgia. Meaningful careers start here.